What up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, back with another. Okay, this is tough for this YouTube intro because I just went back and watched all of my favorite content creators' first YouTube videos, and all of them intro their videos, "What up, invaders? It's the zany sidekick. My name's Northern Lion, and I'm here to blow your mind." And so that is what is simmering in my head, and I don't want to be like that, but I have to. Today's video, and it's not even today's video. I'm not a today's video guy. We're reading Reddit because you guys like Reddit. Reddit is funny. There's drama. And this is a very special subreddit called Hobby Drama, where the most niche internet communities have a light shined upon them, and we can really see what they're fighting about. This one is the subreddit called Horse Sims, or is it just about horse sims? I don't really know exactly what the article is about. This was recommended by the community. It's about horse sims. Got it. Yeah, it's Hobby Drama. Holy moly, there's a lot going on. I hope that this subreddit, it goes deep. Okay. This is largely directly copied from the source on the main quest. Okay, the website we just found. When I published my article about Horse Isle 3's development in December, I hope that this keeps us interested, chat. I was certain... No, I was done writing about this game for a while. Horse Isle 3 has just been a real hot one in the online horse sim journalism scene. I couldn't believe I was going to write a second article about Horse Isle 3. And then the Gulag incident happened. Yes, bear with me here. If you're not already part of this community or its surrounding discussions, much of what I'll tell you in this article is going to sound absolutely ridiculous. I chose to tackle this subject nonetheless because I know many players are unhappy with what went down and want it documented. And for readers who do not usually follow the main quest and the general horse game situation, dear God, please take notice of how badly we need well-made, well-managed games in this genre. This is me talking about breeding season at Patreon 4 years ago. All you have to do is make a furry porn game and you can make so much money. The people are clamoring for it. In Horse Isle 3, players can create their own clubs and stores and name the horses they breed. This means there is a plethora of player-generated content, which is always a certain risk and something that requires proper moderation. Yeah, I mean, you could go in there, if you could say anything, you could probably make some, racist, sexist, very rude names if they don't have a very good filter. The game's forums announced that threads are removed regularly to keep the forums clean and recent. This practice, in combination with the fact that HI3 forums do not... How many people can possibly be using HI3 forums? I imagine it's just the devs and like 3 gamers, right? This seems absurd that we're talking about the speed at which threads being made affects, there's 200 people daily. Okay, 200 people daily is maybe big, but not big enough to delete forum threads. I feel like you can keep that with what's going on. I've been able to contact a former member of the HI moderator team, the most prestigious job you can have in life. And they tell me that players would disproportionately report mentions of partners and relationships if they were implied to be between people of the same gender. The moderators were instructed by the game's administrators to heed these complaints and remove such mentions. Wait, are they saying that there's no gay marriage for horses, or is this the jockeys? Is this the owners? I guess what I want to know, are the horses gay or are the owners gay? And why is either an issue? They put politics in our horse game. Even though this policy ended up only affecting LGBTQ+ people, since no one tended to take offense at mentions of hetero relationships. You officiated a wedding? In one example, a player had the words LGBT married in their profile and was asked to remove it or face a ban. When this unfairness was brought up in the moderator forum, the admin team decided to ban all mentions of romantic relationships in profiles. Ironically, 2 members of the mod team itself were still called Frog Lips and Mr. Frog Lips, exactly the sort of innocuous allusion to a relationship that players were getting reprimanded for, if anyone suspected the people in question might be of the same gender. If it was like Mr. Frog Lips and other Mr. Froglips. Could you imagine if you were sitting in RuneScape? This is me. I'm using RuneScape as my example because that's what I played when I was around this age. And I was selling a Rune Simi. And then I said, oh shit, my mom's told me I had to get offline. And my account was immediately banned. When confronted about such inequalities, the HI team claims that no one is being discriminated against and that mentioning partners or orientation is inappropriate for a children's game in any context. Oh, now's the exciting part. The Gulag. Which, okay, I'm not going to read this. I am going to guess that in this third installment of a horse owner simulation video game, they are going to take players who are LGBTQ+ and force them into a virtual timeout, henceforth known as the Gulag. Because it can't be worse than that, can it? The recent series of events that we're looking at began in early February 2020. This is recent, holy moly. On the club's territory, the player-run stores had names such as the Kremlin, Chernobyl nuclear power plant, and most infamously, the Gulag. Other players noticed these names and began to report them to Horse Isle's support. In a Horse Isle 3 Facebook group, several of the reporting players shared their direct messages with the HI3 support after being disappointed with the replies they got. The team claimed that the club in question was not breaking any rules, that historical content was allowed as long as it was not direct, vulgar, profane, adult, or violent, and that a gulag was simply a prison and therefore inoffensive. Considering that the term gulag refers to the system of labor camps in the Soviet Union responsible for the deaths of about 1.6 million people according to contemporary estimates, many players agreed that this term is that ruling this term as anything but adult and violent was not the appropriate course of action. Further outrage was caused by the fact that one staff member's response to the player asking for the gulag's removal included the expression LOL, laughing out loud, indicating the developers were not taking these reports particularly seriously. While the Soviet-themed club was not directly related to the handling of players mentioning LGBTQ+ related topics in the game, parts of the community were quick to point out the hypocrisy of labeling the term gulag as acceptable in the game, while banning people for offenses such as putting their own pronouns into their player bio or making any reference to their own romantic orientation in public in-game spaces. This is absurd. This is absurd because there are no Republicans playing Horse Isle Adventure 3. It's all furries and socialists. Who do the developers think they are? If you are going to be biased towards one side in a furry horse game, you should take the side of the left just to sell more copies. There is a capitalist slant that says they're on the wrong side of history here, baby. What are you thinking? At this point, however, the community was uneager to let go of what was the bigger issue underneath it all. The seemingly arbitrary approach to what was allowed in the game and what wasn't, and the implication that any mention of gender or orientation is inappropriate for younger users. People voiced these concerns in the game's forums, where threads on the subject were removed after gaining a significant number of comments. I'm assuming it's like 7. Voicing any LGBTQ+ support in-game remained a bannable offense. One player and TMQ community member, TMQ, were temporarily banned from playing for posting No, they couldn't have. They were temporarily banned from playing for posting LGBTQ people deserve rights in the game's forums, for example. Over the course of 2 days, the discontent spiraled into users giving their horses, clubs, and stores LGBTQ+ friendly names and adding more ambiguous references to queerness, pride, and rainbow colors wherever they could. They're doing a protest. In comparing their deeds and consequences, some people gained the impression that support was harsher on non-paying users than on paying subscribers. The storm refused to die down. The demand for an official response grew. On February 9th and February 11th, 2/11, never forget, chat, Horse Isle 3 lead developer Joe Durbin posted 2 news posts on the HI3 website trying to address the community's concerns, or rather, proclaiming that their concerns were unfounded. Although the posts were deleted within a day of their posting, as announced in the posts themselves, the full text can be seen in the screenshots in the Linkorama. Wait, how do I see these news posts? All right, so this is from the developer of the game. This will be a temporary message because frankly, I cannot waste another minute of my day over this generated controversy. Okay, we're gonna go with alt-right accent for this guy. For those that didn't take any part in this, I'm sorry to waste your time with this distraction. I know on my end, we all lost an entire day of HI3 development over this. So here's my final word on the issue. My take from what little I encountered. 1. Folks need to relax. A Russian-themed club is fine. It's a valid culture like any other. If we want to have all history be perfect, then no American culture should be referenced either, because many atrocities have been committed in America also. No culture/history is perfect. Referencing locations in history is educational. Rule-breaking political talk would have been someone trying to convert you to the Communist Party or otherwise discussing politics. 2. Folks were suddenly complaining about so many fine things. A store named the Kremlin? What the heck? We were on our way to request the owner to change this, but as I do not respond well to mob and emotional arguments, I said I was gonna sleep on it before taking any action. 4. But no, complaints continued all day, and now we are being called war crime supporters and other horrible accusations by several folks in support messages. OMG, for unicorn's sake. Okay, I think we saw that Rocket Slacker had played this game. Did people unironically say for unicorn's sake in this game? Is Unicorn the horse god? Is Unicorn the horse god in this game? No, people didn't. Just this guy. Okay, just Joe. Just Joe. And 5. Moral of the story is, folks can work hard and definitely find offense at almost everything these days. And just relax and give others some respect and space to be their own people. This is coming from the dev of a game that won't allow you to say that you are gay or that your parents are gay. Hey, my 2 moms are here. See you guys later, band. Which was clearly an overreaction, and folks just needed to breath. Shout out to Joe. Okay, now that we've seen the news post, we can get back. These official statements did not satisfy many of the discontented players at that point. At some point, the game's global chat feed was spammed with the phrase, "Okay, boomer," until the dev locked the chat entirely for several hours. I've been trying to gather opinions within the community about the tangible effects these events had on the Horse Isle 3 player base. This person could have broke Watergate. This person could have done research into the Trump investigation, into January 6th, but instead, they are diving so deep into some crinky-dinky developers of Horse Isle 3. They suck. They're bad. Go ahead and let the community rage against the machine. I guess I'm glad because I get to read this. I think that you should get paid for this kind of great journalism. From what I've gathered, in the responses and from an eye on the current player numbers on the game's website, user numbers have not significantly dropped following what happened in February. Several people claim that mentions of husbands and wives are usually tolerated in the game unless there's an indication that their relationship is between people of the same gender. Other players refute these claims and say that any mention of a romantic partner is not allowed in the public chat. From yet other players, I've heard that they are unwilling to speak out or share screenshots of support messages with me, worrying that they would be banned from the game if the dev team saw them in an article and could see or guess their username. There's literally secret police amongst the Horse Island community. Connie is always listening, you son of a bitch. I decided to write all this down anyway. For one, I hope this article serves to document the events in a somewhat more durable way than forum threads and Facebook posts, all of which are easily deleted as we've seen. And on the other hand, I think the fact that all of this happened, that the Horse Isle 3 development team has enough of an audience for this to even cause a shitstorm of some size, is one more argument for one of my favorite subjects. Horse game fans are incredibly desperate for good content that takes them and their desires seriously. So what to make of this? I'm on So What to Make of This. There's still some juice in here. Following the early February discussions, as a relatively neutral observer, I don't really consider myself part of the game's community, but I read along with what people say in the TMQ Discord. I could not help but shake my head in disbelief at various points. the original refusal to remove a store called The Gulag from a supposedly child-friendly game when a simple Google search will bring up the disturbingly high death count of the Gulag system is already immensely questionable. Regardless of anyone's opinion of which content should or should not be allowed in a game aimed at children, yelling in all caps about how players who complain about your moderation are ruining the game is unwise, unprofessional, and perhaps most damningly, ineffective. But when the player base of your children's game are behaving like children, you should be able to moderate that and do proper damage control instead of throwing a tantrum using official communication channels. It is funny, I didn't actually think about the fact that he is talking about this woke mob to probably a bunch of 10 to 20-year-olds, right? It's children and teenagers who, when they hear that, are just gonna rebel even more. Fuck this guy. Okay, boomer. Unfortunately, it does not matter if Horse Isle 3 is the worst managed game in its subgenre, as long as it's the only game in its subgenre. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. You know we gotta play Horse Isle 3. I gotta see what this is like. Horse Isle 3. Welcome, adventurers. Create a free account. I support LGBTQ. I'm not doing a band speedrun. I'm standing up for what is right. I can't... I can't get in, dude. This is too hard. Okay, what about I support and then last name LGBTQ? Player name must not contain spaces? Ally. I am an ally. How about I am? I'm Ally. I'm in! Oh, I'm in. It's an FPS. Wait, so am I a human or am I a horse? Oh, I got 10 essence. Queen Bee, the owner, is Queen Medusa. We could quadruple their player base. We could. I got some plains essence. I need to ride a horse. Become the victim of a hate crime. I'm a journalist. Checking out this game. Howdy. How do I get a horse? Oh, you don't have sound? I'm so sorry. The music is great. You're gonna love it. Oh! Yo! It's me! We can get you a horse? Can I just steal one from the auction house? This is just... Is that someone's IP address? Is this game hacking? I came to see the horse homophobia. That's what I want to type in global chat. Rocket Slackers using their connections to the horse mob to get Stanz a pony. You lack the required 5 essence for global chat. That's bonkers. This is insane. Wait, I need money to chat? 3 help chats remaining? Oh, that's wild. Oh, do I have the alpha horse? Mount. Oh, I thought that wasn't going to appear. Sheesh. Do you know the controls? Nope. I actually don't want to be weird in here because this game seems like it has a cool community. Player base were the ones revolting. They're not the problem. It's the mods. Yeah, but even just bringing it up when they have such a safe space here. Okay. We'll miss you all. Keep on keeping on. How the hell do I quit? What the fuck is that? You have to pay experience to global chat? The game itself is the gulag. That game is a nightmare. I actually didn't think that the person writing the article was correct in their assessment that horse fans deserve better. But after playing that, ladies and gentlemen, horse fans deserve better. That was a nightmare. It was so hard. The game was cool, but the systems in place are not good. Oh, Stanz, I called the horse mob to get you the best competitors and you log off. Yeah, I can't keep doing that. That one is on me.